Welcome to the Goofy Guy Podcast, an honest but not so serious look at Disney. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Goofy Guy Podcast. This is episode number 65 for August 31st, 2020. And as you can hear, I'm Jim Spangler, the Goofy Guy, your host, and you don't hear that voice that we usually have in the background. Julie is actually in Las Vegas. She's doing a training right now, so she couldn't be on the podcast with us this week, but that's okay. What that means is that, one, there'll be no witty banter between the two of us. So sorry. And two, it means that it'll probably be a shorter podcast. Shorter. Not a bad thing, but it'll be shorter. So anyway, hey, glad everybody's here with us. Sorry, I got a little messed up there. It's a little weird not having Julie here. I'll be honest with you. I always miss her when she's not here. But anyway, glad to have you with us this evening. Like I said, this is episode 65 for August 31st, 2020. And this is... we're going to be talking about the news for Disney. So why don't we get right to the news? All right. So the first item of news that we have is that there is a great new villain figure available. Now, you know how I am about merchandise. I either like it or I hate it. There's usually not anything in between. And most of the time, I just don't talk about it unless there's something that really, really grabs my attention that I think is really cute. But there are new villain figures available, and they're a little bit pricey, but they are so good. And there's an Iago figure from Aladdin that is awesome. It's Iago sitting on the top of the staff, squawking. It is so cute. I'll put a link in the notes so that you can check it out. It is a really cute figure, but they also have some other villain figures that are definitely worth checking out. But that Iago figure is so good. Love the villains. Nothing like a good villain, in my opinion. The next piece of news that we've got this evening is that even though Equity has come to an agreement with Disney about how they're going to keep their performers safe, the performers have been furloughed, and that furlough has been extended indefinitely. That's really not a good thing. I know that is a financial situation. Disney's trying to kind of control the financial losses that they're dealing with right now. But really, not good. Not good. I know we all miss the performers. We miss the street performers. We miss the shows. And by having them furloughed even longer, and, indefinitely, we don't know when they're coming back. The problem is going to be they're going to lose a lot of those performers. A lot of those performers are going to find other jobs and go someplace else. And it's just really sad. Some have been working there for a really long time, and I'm going to be sorry to see them go. So, not the happiest news in the world by any means. Another piece of unhappy news, at least for me, is that the Void has been permanently closed in Disney Springs. I don't know if you know what the Void is. The Void is a virtual reality experience at Disney Springs and a couple other places around the country. And it may be one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. It is... you put on this virtual reality suit. You actually have the computer on your back, but you've got goggles on and all. It's just awesome. You have this whole rig that you've got on. And then, depending on what you choose, you go into this world. Like the one that I did was Star Wars. And you are... it is crazy. You are in the world of Star Wars. Like, if there's heat, you're feeling the heat. If there's a railing, you can reach out and touch the railing. At one point, you have to reach and I don't mean to put spoilers out here for anybody, but at one point you have to reach out and grab a blaster to use a blaster, and you reach out and there's actually a blaster there, and you pick up the blaster and you actually use the blaster. It is mind-blowing. You have to go through doors, and I mean, it is mind-blowing. One of the coolest experiences I've ever been a part of. And so I'm really sad to see that close. I know there are some issues between the Void and Disney right now. There are rumors of issues between the two parties. And now that they've announced that it's permanently closed and the staff and cast members have been let go from that, that is just really sad because it was such a great great thing. So I'm really sad to see the void close. Another piece of interesting news. I feel like I've got all bad news tonight. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I don't have bad news, but tonight seems to be bad news night. Zippity Doo Dah has been removed from the Disneyland entrance loop. And, that space between Disneyland and California Adventure, they've got the music playing. The Zippity Doo Dah has been removed from that background loop. I'm not quite sure what to say about this, but I'm going to read to you what Disney says about it. And then I think I'm just going to kind of let it sit. With all the changes that are going to happen to Splash Mountain and bringing in The Princess and the Frog, which I think is great. I think that's going to be a great change. But Zippity Doo Dah is iconic. And so this is what Disney says. Excuse me as I look down to read this. The removal of the song from Downtown Disney's background music is part of a continuous process to deliver an environment that features stories that are relevant and inclusive. Okay. We've, in the past, if you want to go back and catch past episodes, we have talked about Zippity Doo Dah and Song of the South, and the issues that movie has with Disney, or it gives Disney problems. I totally get that. I'm just really sad to see that song leave. I really love that song, and I know it's not, I know the background of the song, I know all the story, but really, it's iconic Disney, and it is just a little sad. It's a little sad. So, we're going to move on now. So, here's a story that starts Florida Man. Now, I don't know if you all know about Florida Man, but it seems like there are a lot of Florida Man stories, meaning that what that means is that a Florida man did something, right? That just seems a little outrageous. And so it always starts out, all of the story headlines always start out, Florida man, whatever. So here it is. So Florida man is accused of hitting and threatening a security guard over face mask rules. Let me say that again. Florida man is accused of hitting and threatening a security guard over face mask rules. I just have nothing to say. I'm always shocked at the amount of people that are willing to not wear a face mask. And it is not a surprise that Disney is requiring a face mask. It's not a surprise. You know that going into it. I'm going to leave a link to the story. It is worth reading the story. Part of the problem is that Disney has one story that their cast members can say when face mask issues come up. So, Florida man, thanks for hitting that security guard. I really appreciate that. God, it's just amazing. I don't even know what to say about it. Don't even know. All right, so here's a little bit of happier news. A little bit of better news, maybe. Permits have been filed for continuous work on Harmonious, which is Epcot's new nighttime spectacular that they're working on. Now, I don't know if you've seen the images online about this. When they first showed it, they just showed like the drawings of what this was going to be. I don't think we quite got the scale of this. I don't think we understood how big those screens and such were going to be. If you have not seen them yet, be sure to go out and look them up online. All you have to do is just look for Walt Disney World Harmonious Construction, and it'll come right up, and you can see these mammoth structures that they're building for this show, and really very impressive. I don't want to give too much away. You can, if you want to do a little research, you can find out about it. We may talk about Harmonious at some point and what we know about it, but really impressive. And it's very cool that they've applied for further permits to continue with this. It means it's still coming forward, still moving forward. And we knew they had started construction back up on those big barges that they're building, but now it's confirmed that we are moving forward. So that is definitely a good thing. More permits were also filed to continue work on something called Project Gamma. And what this project is that it is the restaurant that's replacing the Electric Umbrella in Epcot. I'm so glad to see them doing this. Epcot, as far as quick service, is really lacking, and when they closed Electric Umbrella, it really even cut it down even more. And I was personally not an Electric Umbrella fan. I mean, like, if you like typical park food, then Electric Umbrella was right up your alley. It was exactly what you'd want. I mean, theme park hamburgers, theme park hot dogs, theme park fries. They didn't do anything very special there. And I was not sorry to see it close and getting a remodel. But when all of this COVID hit and all of a sudden these construction projects were stalling, I really was not sure what would continue with Epcot, and I don't think anybody was quite sure. But now we know that this update to this restaurant is actually happening, which is great news. They're going to get this restaurant up and running, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with it, with this throwback kind of what they're doing at Epcot, which I love. Using all of the old imagery and fonts, but also bringing it kind of in a modern way. Really excited to see what this restaurant's going to be. It should be fun to follow, and hopefully it's better than just theme park burgers. I'm sure they'll have theme park burgers because it's a quick service location, but hopefully it will have some other things that are good also. So anyway, that's great. Permits have been filed. Work is continuing on that. Glad to hear it. It seems like we've talked about this in the past, about how you have to actually make a reservation to get into a theme park right now. And this may be the way it is from now on, so that they can control levels and they know how many people are coming, and it helps with staffing, it helps with food prep, helps with a lot of things, I'm sure. But park availability changes daily. And what they're doing, they're just trying to get feet through the door. And we talk about this all the time. So you have to keep checking back on the website for park availability. They have added more availability for annual pass holders. They're adding now more availability for cast members now. Have some days that they can come in and use their free park passes. They're just trying to get people in the door, and reports are that when people get there, they're spending a good amount of money, which is great to hear and helps the parks a lot. But just know that you just need to keep checking back for park availability because it just changes daily. If you have a park reservation, you're good to go. No worries. They're not taking away any of that availability. But if you're planning on going, just be sure that you check that park availability so you know what's happening and if there is availability or not, and check back because it may change. So Disney World is adding park hours through November 14th, which is good news. That means that they're thinking that things are going to are starting to ramp up a little bit, especially since they're increasing the amount of people that can get into the parks. So that's really good news that they're increasing park hours. The bad side of that, the negative side is that we still don't know about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. They still have not announced whether that's happening yet or not. I'm not sure that we'll get that announcement anytime soon. And honestly, my feeling is, and a lot of other people's feeling is, that this party's just not happening this year. They canceled the Not So Scary Christmas Party, which was a huge event. And I just don't see them going through with the Very Merry Christmas Party. Personally, one reason is because I don't think they have the staff to do it, honestly. Those college kids are not coming in this fall, and they just don't have the staff to deal with it, which is really sad because I know that we all really love that party. It's still on my bucket list. I know. I can't believe I haven't been to it either, but it is still on my bucket list, and I will get there. But we just don't know. So keep your ears open. We'll let you know as soon as we know anything about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. We'll certainly let you know about it. So, and the last piece of news that I have that I came across for the week, it's been kind of an interesting week of news, right? Nothing like hugely major, but just interesting things. I think the biggest piece of news was the extension of the hours. Really, to be honest with you. Oh, and the Void. I think the Void was a huge piece of news too. Well, I guess, okay, I'm not going to review the news. We've already gone through the news. You can go back through and decide what you think is a big piece of news and what isn't. But the last piece of news is that Disney has filed a patent for the use of drones to control show elements. That's interesting. Think about that for a minute. I didn't say to use drones as show elements, which we've seen them do. A couple of years back, they did that amazing show at the Disney Springs, where they used all the drones to make the amazing things in the sky, trees and stuff. It was so cool. This is to control show elements, which makes me think of like puppets or marionettes or something like that. Something that they want to fly over or hover or I don't know what. Something that's big that they want to just be able to lift up and have be there without any structure around. Very cool idea. I think this also may be useful at, since they're not doing the show at Animal Kingdom now, this may be part of planning for a new show for that too. Just an interesting thought. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see how this one plays out. The image that they show is like it looks almost like a cloth thing that would be raised up and kind of moved around and stuff with a face on it and stuff. But I don't think that's it. I think it could be very different, and I think the idea of using them at the Animal Kingdom for a show there is really fascinating. To bring animals to life. To maybe have things flying through the air, birds and such. Also really interesting thought is maybe for like next year's Halloween party to have ghosts flying over and just some really interesting uses that could be. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, that's it for this week's Disney news for August 31st. 2020. Be sure you let me know your thoughts, what you think about some of these news items. Some of them are kind of interesting news items. Maybe not huge, big ones, but definitely interesting. And I would love to hear your thoughts about them. You can get a hold of me at jim@thegoofyguy.com. You can leave a comment on The Goofy Guy at thegoofyguy.com on the blog, and we'll be sure to respond to you there. You can also find me on Twitter, Pinterest, or Instagram. I'm The Goofy Guy Blog. And on Facebook, I'm The Goofy Guy. You can also find me at The Goofy Guy on YouTube. So go out there. As a matter of fact, some of you may actually be listening to this on YouTube right now or watching it on YouTube right now. So thanks if you are. Be sure you hit that subscribe button and the like button. It really helps the channel out, helps other people find the channel. Also, if you're listening to the podcast, if you could leave a 5-star review at Apple Podcast, that would be awesome. Leave a 5-star rating and a review. It really helps this channel grow and other people find this channel, and we'd really appreciate it. And with that, I guess that's it for this show. It was great that you decided to spend your time with us. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it and enjoy having you here and spending this time, and we'd love to hear from you. So with that, we'll talk to you later.